Sports have been the province of the male sex since the games of the Roman Colosseum. In most civilizations, athletics have served as a kind of masculinity rite. Before last year, hardly anyone took women in sports seriously, not even women themselves. Now that there is a legal mandate for equal athletic opportunities, institutions are evaluating their programs for women and finding them embarrassingly deficient. Many have begun initiating improvements before guidelines are finalized in '75. It is widely known that SMU has a highly rated swimming program. What may not be widely known is that only male people get to participate. There is one female at SMU whose exceptional ability has enabled her to plunge into the all-male diving program. Christine Locke is the winner of numerous diving awards, most recently the National AAU 3-meter springboard. Chris was not even considered for an athletic scholarship to SMU when she applied 3 years ago.
Upon application for an athletic scholarship, I received notice back from the SMU Athletic Department. I received a letter to Mr. Chris Locke saying that they were sorry, but they had no more football scholarships available at SMU, but to come out next spring for spring training, and perhaps there'd be some available. And so I just stored that away in my file and laughed. I knew that there wasn't going to be any chance for an athletic scholarship, and I now attend SMU on academic scholarship. I do dive and work out with the boys diving team, but am not really a member of the team. I'm more or less an associate member, an honorary member of the team.
In the past, high school physical education for girls placed a greater emphasis on attendance and being in uniform than developing skills. Consequently, by the time a woman reached college, any athletic inclinations were long suppressed. That may change soon. Dallas Public Schools hired their first female coaches this term. However, they're not yet on par with male coaches.
Actually, we've hired 18 coaches for girls athletics in our 18 high schools this year. We've always had a program for girls, maybe not to the extent that we hope to have it, and it hasn't been necessarily conducted under the athletic department except in areas of swimming, golf, tennis, etc. The present salary schedule for girls is not on a comparable basis with boys in the coaches that we just recently hired. Now, I think if we follow the Title IX guidelines that this would have to be one of the things that we will need to correct. This is a new program, and incidentally the girls' salaries for coaching duties is on the junior high school assistant coach's salary rather than on the senior high school coach's salary at the present time.
In the beginning, the salary for all the women coaches who worked in the extended day program through our physical education department, we were paid by the hour. And this is still true for people who are working in the extended day program. And then when we moved our volleyball and basketball program to the athletic department, the school district is going to pay us a regular coaching salary. Now, I feel like I must point out that it's a few $100s short of what the men are being paid. Now that we have moved from the physical education department to the athletic department, we asked about equipment again last week, and we were told that we would use physical education equipment, just use our regular physical education volleyballs in our workouts and in our games with other schools. Uniforms, we're to use the same ones that the track team ran in last spring and the ones that the basketball team played in. And
what equipment do the boys use? Do they have a similar situation with equipment?
No, I don't think so. As far as I know, each team has its own set of uniforms, and as far as I can tell, they have ample equipment for all their sports. Baseball, track, football, basketball, swimming.
Well, any sport that's going to be run ought to be done first class, and that means that the equipment, practice time, they ought to have the best of equipment and facilities available to play, certainly.
Do you foresee girls' sports producing revenue?
Yes,
in the future?
yes.
Will they draw a crowd?
The state of Iowa girls basketball program attracted 26,000 people to its final state game last year. Girls, only girls, no boys.
Well, no, I doubt that it'll ever produce the revenue, especially because football is the big game. It's the revenue game. And girls football, I doubt would ever catch on like boys football. And that's where we make most of our money.
Every year in Austin, when they have the girls state basketball tournament, they make money. And I think that we, Dallas Independent School District, can make money on girls athletics. I think we can be self-sustaining. I think that the day will come when we pay our own way. Not now. We have a long way to go, but I think we can get there.
Opponents of equal athletic opportunities are more concerned with men and women playing football or sharing common locker rooms. In most instances where girls attempt to join boys' teams, there are no comparable girls' teams. One female coach says that women are not asking for equality on a dollar-for-dollar basis, but if football gets $500,000, girls should at least have lockers rather than nails, good equipment rather than hand-me-downs from the boys. The women's gym at North Texas State University is without bleachers or school board. Obviously, spectator sports were not meant to take place there. During tournaments, women are permitted to use the men's gym. North Texas recently opened a multi-million-dollar sports coliseum, but it's off-limits to women's activities. Each department must pay for using the coliseum, and the women's department simply cannot afford it. The university provides 4 buses to transport its male athletes. However, women athletes must find their own transportation. This year, the women's budget at North Texas more than doubled to $25,000, while the men received $487,000. On the surface, it appears a significant increase until you deduct the salary of the newly hired women's athletic director.
Well, I think if we look in terms of short range, which is right now what we're looking at for this year, we've got to do several things, and I think one is to publicize our program not only on campus, but to the community. I think the things that I've been saying to people in the community and on campus, very few people are aware. One of the comments that has been made is that since we had no director, people didn't think there was a program. In addition to trying to get community support and building up our program to include more intercollegiate sports. I think that'll be short term. Long term, of course, we're looking for recruiting athletes, trying to get scholarships, and again, emphasizing publicity about the woman athlete. And I think the woman athlete in society has been so played down that we're just trying to explain that we are no different, that we are a viable force to contend with, and that people better start looking at us, particularly since Title IX is in existence.
Inferior athletic programs for women can be attributed more to a set of values, which are shared by almost everyone, than to discrimination by athletic directors and coaches. The many improvements observed in athletic programs in just 1 year portends dramatic changes for females in sports within the next decade. It is another idea whose time has come. Simone de Beauvoir says that attaining perfection within the limitations of each physical type should be the goal of all sports. It is an idea whose time has not come.